No, but my point is, signs happen in the heavens. Whatever happens in the heavens starts impacting what is taking place on the earth. Now here's something that's very interesting. Signs of comets. Everybody knows what a comet is. But let me show you what happens when a comet comes where it is visible to the earth people. When it's visible to our eyes. Let's put up Halley's Comet. There is a comet that is known as Halley's Comet. Listen to me very carefully. This comet came through in 66 AD, 4 years prior to the destruction of the temple. This comet was spotted in 12 BC when Herod was expanding the temple platform in Jerusalem. It appeared in 66 AD, listen, 4 years before Jerusalem was destroyed. It appeared in 1910, 4 years before World War I. It appeared in 1988, 4 years before the Gulf War broke out. This comet seems to appear in history 4 years prior to something happening on earth. It's either the overthrow of an empire, a nation, or a king, or a terrible calamity. Do your own research on that. It's extremely interesting. Now, in August the 9th, 1974, there was a Japanese comet that swept through our solar system, a very large one. Something weird happened in August of 1974. Everybody listen carefully. During the time the comet was seen by inhabitants of the earth, all 9 leaders of the common market fell. President Nixon departed office on August the 9th, 1974, on the Hebrew calendar. On August the 9th, it was the 9th of Av, the most dreaded day among the Jewish people on their calendar. So why am I telling you that? Well, I'll tell you why I'm telling you that after I talk about Hale-Bopp Comet. Hale-Bopp Comet was 50,000 times brighter than Halley's Comet. We have a picture of it. Now, this was the Hale-Bopp Comet. Listen carefully. First seen on April the 27th, 1993, which is on the Hebrew calendar, was the very day that the British mandate ended over the city of Jerusalem. On July 23rd, 1995, it was spotted in a constellation called Sagittarius, which is a half beast and a half man, which is an imagery of the coming Antichrist. It was last seen, I love this, this comet, this is an actual photograph, this comet was last seen, are you ready for this, 4,200 years ago. A gentleman by the name of Wadsworth, who was a Christian astronomer, calculated, I love this, that the last time this comet was seen streaking through the universe was when a man named Noah was building the ark, preparing for the flood. The Seder Olam Rabbah, Jewish writing, according to Bill Cloud, comments that tradition says that Noah saw a comet in the heavens while he's building the ark, which was a sign to him that the world was going to be destroyed by some kind of cataclysmic judgment. By the way, Hale-Bopp exited our galaxy on Pentecost in 1998. In 1998, it was reported, listen to this, that in Israel, it was reported in Israel, that according to Jewish oral tradition, when a comet was seen passing through the constellation Orion, listen, which Hale-Bopp did on Pentecost of 1998, that it would be a sign that the earth would be destroyed. So why are we getting into these signs of the heavens? Please listen to me carefully. Because it was Jesus that said, there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars. Now, Jesus said there's going to be signs in the sun, moon, and the stars. Do you not think if he said it, we should understand what he meant? Do you think we should not dig out these things and try to understand what are cosmic signs? Why are they happening? Why are they taking place? Let me answer it for you since you're not. Yes!
Alright, YouTubers, I'm not going to speculate too much with this, but I did want to put it out here so that you could kind of think on it, or, you know, maybe share whatever info you come up with. What I found interesting was that he was talking about Halley's Comet. You know, every time it showed up 4 years later, there'd be a major war. And based on all the signs that I'm looking at, I do believe that war will probably start this year, simply because the world, you know, the UN, the Mideast Quartet, they're all trying to divide Israel. And according to Bible prophecy, when you try to divide Israel, that's when judgment falls. That's when God says, all right, I've had enough. Now it's time to pay up. So I find it interesting that 3 comets are making close approaches within 5 months of each other. First Honda, then Elenin, which, you know, many speculate, including myself, that it's not really a comet, but could very well be a dwarf star or something of that nature. If you watch my other video, Comet Elenin confirms a 2011 tribulation, you see that when this thing is lined up with the Sun and Earth, that it seems to have a gravitational effect, something that you wouldn't expect from a comet. And then within that same 5 months, Comet Levy also approaches. Now I understand these things aren't of any significant size according to, say, NASA or some people, but I would say at least Elenin, there seems to be disinformation about it. I'll say that at least, and I do believe that it's probably much more significant than the government or NASA would have you to think. I recently watched the movie Deep Impact, and what I found funny about that was that they had a black president, same as America right now. The comet, when they first revealed it in the movie, they were calling it Ele, or ELE. And if you look at Elenin, it's ELENIN. I've heard some speculation that means extinction level event, NIN being Nibiru is near. I don't know, there's a lot of information out there if you want to go chase this kind of stuff, but I just find it very interesting that there's going to be 3 comets coming within the next 5 months. The first one's going to make its close approach in August. So I don't know if you want to take that as a sign that 4 years from now the Great Tribulation starts, or even this year something starts. I'm not going to make a speculation on what exactly is going to happen, but I do believe that this is a sign of some kind, and something that we may not understand now, but we will probably understand later. Now I'll just finish this video by sharing some cool charts with you here. My buddy Vega made these charts, and I've already showed you this one in another video, but it shows the lunar tetrads that are going to occur in 2014, 2015. I'll give you links to these if you want to take a closer look at it. And then this other one I wanted to show you because there's an interesting eclipse pattern occurring around Pentecost this year. Now, Lewis made one other chart that I want to share with you here. Go to the link for the full thing, but there's a very interesting pattern that started 2 days ago. June 1st, there was a partial solar eclipse, and according to this article, it was called a rare midnight solar eclipse. And I believe it happened on the North Pole. It's kind of a rare occurrence. But if you look here at the chart, exactly 7 days later is Pentecost. Then exactly 7 days after that is a total lunar eclipse. Exactly 7 days after that is summer solstice. And then it's not 7 days, but shortly after that, again on July 1st, there's a partial solar eclipse that is just as rare as the one on June 1st, I believe. You'll have to look this article over if you want more details on it. But it's just an odd pattern. It's two rare partial solar eclipses with a full lunar blood red moon in the middle of it, and they're equally spaced from Pentecost and the summer solstice. So thanks to Louis Vega for bringing that up and doing some great charts on it if you want to look into that some more. So there's definitely some weird signs going on in the sun, moon, and stars. And while I don't claim to know an exact interpretation of them, I do know that we're in a season where big things are about to happen, and these are possibly pointing to big things. I know that within this time frame of these eclipses, Ahmadinejad has said that the Mahdi is expected to surface. So I guess we'll see what happens with that in a couple days. I myself am kind of skeptical about it, but who knows? So the bottom line of this video, the same as the bottom line of all my other videos. The verse, Luke 21:25, that talks about signs in the sun, moon, and stars, is what Jesus was talking about preceding his second coming. So if we're seeing all these weird signs, all these rare occurrences, and all these weird comets, eclipses, whatever, I do believe that there's signs pointing to the second coming. I don't claim to use them to set specific dates on things, but I think we're clearly being shown a season here, and just here's some stuff to chew on you if you're into this kind of thing. And you got to be ready for the tribulation, whether that means being ready for the rapture or ready to die on any given day. You just got to be ready to meet your Maker. You got to be ready to meet Jesus Christ, and you got to know Him as your Lord and Savior. That's all there is to it.